I'm glad you asked that question. We are unfortunately in a country where we cannot choose specializations, at least till you reach somewhere. When I reached at the age of 50, I'm 60, almost 63 now. That is the time when I realized the mega bucks were in specialization. Now, for youngsters like you today, my son and my daughter are 5 years ahead of you. My daughter did her law from NUTS Kolkata. She was Aditya Birla's scholar. She did extremely well because the alumni there is very good. The push. She interned with a very big firm called Allen & Overy. It is in the magic law circle of firms. She's employed with them as a training solicitor, and she's passed the qualifying exam of that country. My son did a 3-year law from Jindal. Have you heard of Jindal Global University? My son did a 3-year BA, then a 3-year law. Then he got into the same college where I went 38 years ago. SOAS, School of Oriental African Studies. But he got a scholarship. But he's done that and he wants to be a barrister, which is going to take time. Now, I have been watching their careers and I felt that, see, if your aim is to get into the higher stream, make good money, commercial litigation, arbitrations, and high-end commercial work is the answer. Litigation takes time. Litigation doesn't pay. And litigation, you are successful only if you are second or third generation. I started on a bicycle, first generation. We used to laugh. Then my father gave me an old ambassador. That was a royalty. I still have it. But it takes you time. And he said, you're not going to start, you're not getting married till you pay the mortgage. So, 35 was the time I reached anywhere. And then he said, now you should. So, litigation is tough. Nowadays, 5-year law college people get into jobs, law firms. They are good, but the working hours are awful. There is no time when you go home. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. There is no schedule. If there is work, you have to work because the boss is sitting. But then with these places, unless you are very bright and you become a partner, you are on a salary. So get clarity in a field of law. If you think you are going to do everything, that's fine. But if you develop your skills in a particular area of law, say arbitration, say commercial litigation, or commercial disputes. See, now we have different kinds of forums. We have the National Company Law Tribunal. We have the Consumer Commissions. A lot of things have been taken out of the district courts. So you can choose nowadays to enter into a stream right in. There are commercial courts also dealing with commercial suits. So the sooner you can make a choice of what you like, don't force anything on yourself. If you like a subject, develop your thought process. Start getting into it more and more. Search who are the leading people in the field. And if you get an internship in Delhi, don't be scared of going. Rough it up. Go and stay in digs. Go and stay in PEs. Go and starve yourself. Get exposed, get rubbed. Don't sit in the cocoon of Army Institute of Law. Fly. And the sooner you get wings, whenever there are holidays, don't go home and enjoy. Think of 5 years as a training program. Think, a lot of you are from army backgrounds, so think you have been recruited into the army. Obviously, you know, the first 5 years are very tough. Next question.
Sir, I'm Simran. Sir, I want to do LLM, but I don't know in which field I should go.
You see, unfortunately, you will not be able to. When I did the LLM, I did 1 year here. You can't choose what you want to do. Are the subjects still fixed? So there are 4 or 5 subjects you have to do. And in the second year, I think you can do a dissertation. So that is what it is. But I did an LLM in London. So I said, if you want me to give a report, you have to instruct me. Means you have to tell me what to do. So I said, you have to give me the questions which I have to answer. And can you believe it? They said we can't even frame the question. Because you don't know what to ask you. I said, all right, I'll frame the questions and then we'll frame the answers. And when I landed in London, they had 10 more questions. And I told them what to do. Writ of habeas corpus in Goa to get the lady out. But by the time we did that in Goa, she pled to Bangalore. Now the writ of the High Court runs only in the territory in which the court is situated. Bangalore comes under the High Court of Karnataka. Now, the court in Goa is the High Court of Bombay. Bombay has a bench in Goa and one in Nagpur. So anyway, somehow the matter got resolved. But then the Indian judges wanted to know who is the mother? The one who carried her in the womb or the one who gave the ovum? We made a surrogacy law. We let it go on for almost 20 years now. We've got a very tough law. So law can also be a challenge. Saying I don't want to know it, it's too difficult, is something you should never do. The bigger the challenge, the tougher the challenge, the more you will enjoy it. And once you cut, it's like cutting through waves. You go to a beach, a wave comes, you don't have to go on top of the wave, you have to go under the wave and go through the wave. So the sooner you learn how to conquer the wave or handle something, the sooner you will get confident. Some of you, whatever I'm saying might be Greek or Japanese. But since you are going to enter into a professional course, you must make the most of it. Now, unlike many other institutions where things are a lot different, you are in a little controlled atmosphere, which is good for you. Because you're all probably first time out of home and we can't let you lose. Right, man? So we have to keep you on a leash, which is good. But then there is plenty to do. Debating, mooting, research, and other activities. Now, I am tired. So now somebody else is to speak. So, questions, offbeat, irrelevant, relevant. You start with me. Don't be shy. You are holding a mic. That's why I put it to you. Relax, man, relax. Chill. No point. Just chill.
Sir, my question is that as a first generation lawyer, that means in my family there is no one from this background of law.
Neither in mine.
So as a first generation lawyer, what things, the principles we should keep to make it? What things we should do, we shouldn't do in field of litigation?
Good afternoon, sir. So my question might not be that formal, but earlier as ma'am mentioned that the library here has more than 12,000 books, and as we'll be acquainting ourselves with this field, which book do you suggest should be read first? Like the very first book that we should pick.
The one which looks thickest, most difficult to understand, and looks like a horrible Greek subject.
And so if we find
No,
that scary,
I'll tell you what. See, you have a semester-wise system. In your semester will be first semester will be 5 subjects. So pick up a book which is one of those 5 subjects. You know, I learned this from my son. He, in general, would read what the teacher is going to teach before going to the class. I used to do that in my LLM because then you used to be given a reading list. You're supposed to collect the material and read it and have a 2-hour class per subject discussion. I don't know if the classroom, only the teacher talking is the philosophy they have here. But try to ask as many questions as you can. Don't sit like a dumb dodo. That's my right. No. Minister, no. When you're in class, you're in class. I was a teacher for six years. I used to tell people, listen, you can't do this here. I used to teach in the evening. I said, listen, I'll give you 5 minutes. I will not take attendance. I'm wasting time. Anybody who wants to walk in, can walk in. Anybody who wants to walk out, can walk out. Once I shut the door, no going in, no going out. And nobody is short of attendance. Everybody will get attendance. So you have to be serious. Pick up a book which is your current focus of curriculum. Try to read it. I'm sure you have a syllabus. You have something to do.
thank you.
Forewarned is forearmed. And rub your teacher with questions. Become a nuisance. Can we do this all like that? No. Go on.
Good morning, sir. I am Anshika, and I would like to ask, sir, being very new to this field, as per your experience, what are the pros and cons to this field? Like, what do you think that something we can make out of it and something we should be aware of not getting into it?
See, you can be filthy rich, you can get a Ferrari, you can take foreign holidays, you can have a Louis Vuitton bag, or you can be on a cycle, rumbling your way through in the district courts, trying to make 2 ends meet. You have to choose where you want to go. And let me tell you, what is your asset? What is your component? What is your input? Money, property, resources. When you are into a different frame of practice, courtesy my LLM in 1984 in England, I did conventional litigation of 15, 20, 25 matters every day. But after that, I branched out into handling matters of what used to be called private international law. Now, international law has 2 forms. One is when international law is between 2 nations, 2 countries, or 2 institutions. That is public international law. But when there is an individual involved in an international law, it's called private international law. Now, we are 1.4 billion. About 32 million of us live in 108 countries. So we have an explosion of litigation, a niche litigation, which I now call international family law. I am day in and day out in inter-country, interparental child abduction, inter-country adoptions, cross-border marriage issues, married in India, divorced abroad, division of matrimonial assets, making of wills, succession plans, surrogacy. I have got into the international market, so I do a lot of expert reports in foreign courts. I cannot appear, but now we have an MOU with the Bar Council of England. So whatever I do in 2 years is a book, and the result is I have 9 books. If you want to grow, be different from the others. Only then you will make a mark in the profession. If you do what everybody is doing, then you will be another nobody. If you want to be a somebody, then think differently. Read differently, realize differently. I am in a frame where I have to produce results in a perspective of laws which are colonial. You are lucky, you can now, Supreme Court is online. So whenever there is a constitution bench, I think your teachers will organize it here too. Watch what court proceedings do. See how lawyers argue. You have come at a time when things are easy. Now, when I went to do my master's in England, there were computers, but there used to be a microfiche. You had to go to a library, you had to search for the book, then you had to make photocopies, and then you had to read it. It's all changed now. Now the end part of it is, the more you achieve in college, the more you learn and the more you gain, you should try to put into real practice in something which is called moods. What are moods? Moods are artificial codes which your college will create or which other colleges will create, and you will be given a proposition or you will be given a case in which you will be asked to defend or back. So it is a mock court, and that will give you an insight of what to do, how to do, and how to prepare. Now the next thing which is very important for you to realize is, you must read good politics. Reading judgments is one thing. Find judgments and you can start selecting what judgment you do. And another very, very important thing